Hey guys, how's it going? I haven't made a video in forever. Actually, that's a lie. I have a new channel, so all my videos are going on the new channel, Obashua, as opposed to my old channel, Boomstick Please. This video will be uploaded on both, so it's a mindfuck in of itself. What channel are you watching this video on? Who knows? Hopefully both, because you're subscribed to both accounts. Anyways, I'm gonna do my DVD collection from point A to point Z, all in a series. So I've been meaning to do this in a while, and I sit down with like part of my collection, and I'm like, blah, 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 and I'm like monotone and really uninvolved and uninterested in what I'm doing. So hopefully this will be different. I'm gonna do smaller sections, and hopefully that will allow me to talk more about each title and actually get into the meat and potatoes of why I bought this movie and why it's in my collection. I tend to buy a lot, but then weed out what I don't like. So everything I'm showing you, I would highly recommend in terms of quality of the film and of the release, unless noted otherwise. I might say, this is a horrible release, in which case don't buy it. Anyways, Criterion's I'm going to put in a separate series, so this is just non-Criterion titles. So let's get started. So I have a small but modest collection of Draft House film releases. They are a pretty great company. Of course, you've probably heard of Alamo Draft House. I pray to the gods every day that one of them just crops up in my city, because they seem like fantastic little theater houses, and they always put out the most interesting films. Usually like revivals of old stuff. And now that they have their own distribution company, they're getting the rights to some really interesting stuff, such as The Visitor, which I'm so looking forward to. It's supposed to be released next month. Anyways, let's talk about the actual titles that I do have. So the first one, which is Spine Number 7, I don't actually... What? I'm lying to you. The first one, which is actually Spine Number 3, is Bullhead, which I believe won the Foreign Language Film Oscar of the year it was released. I haven't seen this one. The release is very interesting. Usually they go towards cult classics, more in like a schlocky kind of surrealistic vein. And I guess in some ways this fits. This is definitely going to be a cult classic, and it has a very unique storyline to it, but it's more like pedigree filmmaking, where it's not amateurs, it's not independent. It's hard to describe. I out of the caliber of filmmaking, I would put most of the releases about here, like really surprising, independent, or unique pictures. And this is like a very well-made, unique, interesting picture. I don't know how to describe it otherwise. So all the releases come with very small booklets, but booklets nonetheless, of a few essays, and reversible cover art, which if you want to see, I will do a separate video, but I'm not going to show you in this video. So Bullhead. And special feature wise, they're pretty good. Transfers are probably about an A-. They're not fantastic, they're not horrible. Usually they're digital films that they release, so they don't have to clean up too much. Probably the best release that they've done so far, hopefully The Visitor outclasses it, is Spine Number 7, which is Miami Connection, which is a riot. If you're into cult films at all, you have to check this out. Essentially, the main actor, YK Kim, is a motivational speaker in real life. For the special features on this disc, they have like his motivational speaker like seminars and all the infomercials that he used to pitch. I think he came up with this workout called USA Workout or Workout for America, and it's like all workout activities that you can do while you're like sitting or watching TV or sitting at a desk. It's surreal that these are real and not like made for this release, because they're pitch perfect in their hilarity. I watched the commentary track with this film as well, and it's equally as good. YK Kim's also part of that commentary track. This is a pretty good flick. The songs will get stuck in your head and you will sing them and you will hate yourself for it. But totally recommended. Red Letter Media did a wonderful Best of the Worst where they featured this film, so I would recommend watching that if you're into Red Letter Media content. They're fantastic. Check them out. I'll put the link below. Why not? Next one I have is Spine Number 9, probably the most surreal film they've released so far. Wrong, by Quentin Dupieux, I believe that's how his name is pronounced. This is so funny. It's a surrealistic comedy, and it's almost undescribable. Watch the trailer for this. It gives you a really a good look at what the film really is about. It's surrealistic, it's weird, it's bizarre, it's musical, it's one of a kind for sure. if you like dogs, check this out. This one's a unique release as well. I like the artwork. It comes with My Life, My Dog, My Strength, Volume 2. If you order the edition that they have through Alamo Drafthouse or Drafthouse Films main website, you can get like a hardcover book of Volume 1, which I really meant to do, but it's like $40, and shipping to Canada is probably about the same because they use Topspin, I believe, for their checkout services, and they don't do very well with international deliveries. So, anyways, moving on, we have number 10, which is Graceland, another one I haven't seen. I actually bought this at the same time. I believe it was released the same day as number 11, which is Pieta, which is a Kim Ki-duk film. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's famous for like films like 3 Iron, which was a fantastic film, and this is something I would highly recommend as well. These are both Asian thrillers. I think this was from the Philippines, and this is from South Korea. They're both supposed to be amazing. This one is amazing, I can say that for sure. This one I haven't seen yet. I think this is a little more serious in tone, whereas this is kind of tongue-in-cheek, just in the situations that the main character finds himself in. This has a fantastic twist that you can probably see coming, but it's a very unique film. This, again, like I mentioned, I haven't seen, so I'll show you the insides of both. Sorry I can't say much about these ones in particular. I would recommend every single Drafthouse Films release just for the quality of the package. Even if the films are horrible, the special features usually give some insight on why they consider them quality films, and you can probably appreciate them a little more than if you just watch the films by yourself. Okay, sorry about that and the horrible description I gave on all of those, but let's move into the bulk of the standard editions, not special collections. So Akira, this is the 25th anniversary edition. This was notoriously hard to find on Blu-ray until Funimation re-released it just, I believe, a month ago. The transfer on this is fantastic, and it comes with a bunch of dubs. Only 2, I guess. Although I think you can select between the 2 dubs, because they did 2 English dubs. Yeah, remastered Japanese, the original English, and the remastered English. So the original English was recorded in 1988, which is the original English dub, and the remastered English dub was done in 2001. This is a fantastic film based on a manga. I believe it was based on a manga. I don't think the manga serialization came after the film. I have volume 1 in the hardcover edition, which I'm planning to read. I've only seen the film so far. But if you're into science fiction and early Japanese animation, this is a must-see. It's very steampunk. It reminds me of Dragon Ball Z, not in like storyline sense, but in the universe that it creates, where it's very deep mythology, where they have different races and different technology than us. It reminds me of that in that sense. And of course, Akira always reminds me of Akira Toriyama, but that's not why. Highly recommended. This release is fantastic. A Blu-ray DVD combo pack. I believe you can get it for about $20. Totally worth it. Check Akira out if you haven't already, especially if you're into animation whatsoever. Next one I have is an Olive Films release, Amour, which is a Italian giallo throwback done by 2 French directors. So technically it's a French film, although there's very, very, very little dialogue, if any at all, if I recall correctly. But it's pitch perfect. It imitates an Italian giallo film, especially those of Argento in his early period, to a T. It has the colors, it has the dramatic camera movements, it has the beautiful women and the beautiful fashion and the dangerous men and the gloves and the knives and everything. It is incredible. And this release does come with a selection of short films they did before their first feature film. And they're coming out with a second feature film, which I'm totally looking forward to, which is in the same vein, I believe. These are interesting because the short films they didn't do on film stock. They used a different time where it was almost like stop motion animation, like it did certain frames. I believe for one they even just took still photographs and pieced it together just because it was easier to do the style within their budget, doing it that way as opposed to like the traditional film way. Olive Films usually do fairly nice releases. They tend to be pretty bare bones. Comes with a small little write-up on the films and whatnot. Transfer's very good, and you can get this for fairly cheap as well. So check that out, especially if you're into giallo films or Italian films whatsoever. Next one I have is a unique independent Canadian film that came out last year. American Mary. If you're into horror flicks, check this out. I'm gonna like relate every single film I show you to something and recommend it to you because I love all the films that I'm showing you because I own them. And why would I buy something that I hate? Fair enough, right? American Mary is bizarre. It's very gruesome. It's about body modification and I guess in some ways the medical industry. This, along with Excision and Would You Rather, are three of the standout horror films that I saw within the last year, and I'd recommend all three to you. Check this out. It's directed by the Soska sisters, who I believe are doing not Cannibal Holocaust, Cabin Fever 3. I believe they're directing that, or maybe it's another sequel that they're doing. I don't know. I thought it was weird that they were doing like a sequel after they came out with such two strong independent. Their first one is like Dead Hookers in a Truck or something like that. They're friends with Astron 6, and that's how I found out about them because I love Astron 6 as a group of filmmakers, and they recommended this film, and it's incredible. I'm trying to remember now what the film they're directing is. If you know, comment it below, but it's the sequel of a film or a remake of a film, and it's very Hollywood, and I'm like, why would they agree to do this? But I guess I need to break into the business. So American Mary, check it out. I believe it's on Netflix. Next, also a Canadian film, Antiviral. This is by Brandon Cronenberg, who is, I believe, the son of David Cronenberg. This is a very unique concept. Essentially, it's about an alternate time or briefly in the future where the celebrity like fascination is to a point where people go to these clinics, and there's two competing companies that do this, and they willingly ingest the germs and viruses that celebrities have. Like they'll get Scarlett Johansson's chlamydia or Jude Law's zit, and they want that so they feel closer to the celebrities because it's actually so personal that the germs from that celebrity is now in their body. It's fucked up. Very unique concept, very well done. It starts to weaver a little bit in the middle, but it finishes very strong. If you're into body horror at all, and if you're into the early films of David Cronenberg, not what he's doing now with like the mafia and the violence, if you're into the early films where he's using like body horror to say a message, like he's essentially hiding a social commentary within a horror film, which is how David Cronenberg had to do it in the past. Brandon Cronenberg came out with this. It's fantastic, and the main actor Caleb, he's so good. He's going to be someone to watch out for in the near future. So check that out. I might be running out of time. I'm going to try to make this 15 minutes. So go through as much as I can in the next 2 minutes. Blah, 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 blah. I'm rambling. I don't even know how to talk. Basket Case. This is, I think, the only Blu-ray that Something Weird Video released, and it is a great transfer. Most of you have probably heard of Basket Case. If not, check it out. I believe it's an 80s, if not late 70s film. Very bizarre. Kind of horrifying, actually. And it's part of a series. It's directed by Frank Henenlotter, who did like Frankenhooker and Bad Biology. So if you've seen any of those films, you kind of know what to expect with this one. I believe this was his first film or one of his very early films. It's very bizarre, but it's very good. And this one's packed with special features, audio commentaries, behind the scenes, everything. And you can get it for like $10. Check this out. Okay, this is probably the last one I'm going to do, unfortunately. This is Bellflower, which was released by Oscilloscope, who also does these really nice additions in these like environmental friendly packaging. They look so nice. And this is a, I believe, Blu-ray DVD combo, as is most of the releases. They came out with films like What About Kevin and Minx Cutoff and Wendy and Lucy, stuff like that. They released fantastic flicks. Bellflower is an independent film, and it's unique in the sense that it's a great story, fantastic romance. It's like the degradation of a relationship, the build-up and degradation of a relationship. Very interesting. But it's notable because the director actually designed not only the car featured in the film, which is so fantastic. I mean, it dispenses liquor. How can you get better than that? But he designed the camera that was used to film this film. And I wish there were special features going into depth on that process because it has a unique look to it where there's like damages and scratches on the actual lenses that he's filming with, and it gives the film a very surrealistic, like apocalyptic feel. And this, again, if you're into surrealism, check this out because the end, it's like a beautiful build up and then it gets so weird you don't even know what's happening and then it's like the perfect conclusion. This is one of the best films I've seen in the last 3 years in terms of independent American films. So I'm out of time, guys. That was what I'm going to show you now. I grabbed like four more that I'm just going to show you, but I don't have time because I'm rambling. Stay tuned to this channel and of course my other channel, so Obashawa and Boomstick Please. I'll probably continue this series on both of them. So it'll be on Boomstick Please first, and then it will move over to Obashawa. I want to transition people over to the new channel because I have like 30 subscribers on Obashawa, my new channel, and I have like 300 on this one. And I used to have like 800, but it's slowly dwindled down because I don't make videos anymore. Also, I've lost a lot of weight, so I look totally different. Look, anyways, I will see you guys again. I won't see you, you'll see me, but maybe I can see into your soul through the eye of this MacBook eyesight camera. Oh, creepy. Anyways, I'll see you again in like 2 days.